Hi, good morning everyone. This is John from Uplift Trade. Today is Thursday, September the 4th. It is a little bit over 9:15 in Europe in the morning. Price action wise, so we had a nice run up yesterday evening towards 112,500 and some change. But since then, price has made its way back in the range that I highlighted yesterday for my trading session on the 5-minute chart. If I look on the 4-hour, we had a low made, when was it? On the 1st of September, and price has failed to make a new high compared to exactly 213,564. So until that high on the 4-hour is broken, the trend has not changed. The trend is still down. Like I was saying yesterday, perhaps the low is in. Perhaps. We don't know that yet. What I can notice is the 4-hour pattern that repeats so far. Whenever price has made its way in between the moving averages, if you look above my head, I realize that my shirt is not ideal for this type of recording, but this will have to do for today. Whenever price reaches in between the moving averages, it stalls there. So those are the 12 and the 21 moving average on the daily time frame. It stalls there and then resume downtrend and find some kind of support on the 12 and the 21 on the 4-hour chart, but then is not sufficient to hold the price. And the price keeps on going lower. Are we going to have the same repeat here? We reached in between the moving averages, but it's not enough. And now we are testing on this candle, 40 minutes left. Price is testing the 12 and the 21 moving average to see if there is some kind of support. So bigger picture, the trend is still down until this high over here is broken. Now, today's session appears to be a wait and see game, but I'm not taking any shorts at the moment. I'm just keeping an eye on the price action. But my plan is simple. Make a run back up for the price. Look for a short position, option 1. Option 2, break this low of the range and reclaim and look for long. Option 3, break this low of the range, do not reclaim and consume the liquidity void and then perhaps look for a long. Yeah, so that's the plan for now. All right, it's been somewhat an hour and 30 minutes later. Price has made its way underneath the liquidity void here on the 5-minute, but what is interesting for me, remember, I said if price goes back up, I'll be looking to enter a short, ideally towards the mid of the range. Now, what is interesting for me is where the RSI is, right here. If you look to the left, last time the RSI was at the same level, it resulted in price trading above the moving averages and it resumed the downtrend later on. We're still in a downtrend on the 5-minute, on the 10-minute, and on the 4-hour. So my play would be to position a short. I just don't want to do it right now, but it's interesting to observe that the RSI has reached the level 60. And last time it did that on the 5-minute, the level 60 turned out to be a good level where to enter a short position. So that's what I'm gearing up for, but no trade for the moment. It's been 20 minutes or so since I stopped the recording. I will enter a short position for a quarter of a contract on this retest of the former high. I like where the RSI is positioned on the 5-minute at the level 60. For the moment, I'll put the stop loss at 133 bucks, this position. If I see that price is getting into this liquidity void and is being consumed, I may close the position right away. But for now, the position is in for a quarter of a contract at 110,793. All right, so it's been well over an hour since I posted the recording. Once again, the move today is really slow. I said earlier that if the price was tapping into the liquidity void here on the 5-minute, I would be quick to exit the position. I did not do so simply because there was a ton of supply getting in at this level. So that tells me there is probably something here on this particular level. It's the mid of the range. So I'm not getting out of my shorts yet. My short is underwater $51, which is fine. I'm still of the opinion that we may revisit lower, perhaps not quickly. The day is very slow. And I'm considering adding to the short on the break of this level here, the low of this candle, which is sitting currently at 110,736. If price breaks this low, and I will add another quarter of a contract and I will move the stop down to this level. Now, if price makes a new high compared to this level with some volume, I will close the position right away. But that's the play for now. Somewhat half an hour later, I position another sell stop order for a quarter of a contract just underneath the low of this candle, like I said I would do. And I will right away take my stop lower. Somewhat 15 minutes have passed since I paused the recording and since I entered a stop sell order under the low of this candle. So this stop sell order was triggered. So now the position is for half a contract on the short side. I am not yet moving the stop. I will not touch it. I want to see a bit more price action develop. Remember what I was saying at the beginning of the video. Price is apparently rejecting from the mid of this range, and logically you would expect price to go towards the lower bound of the range. So right now there is no indication that it's going to do so, but if it does, I will observe how price react as well as the tape, simply because I would like to, as I am short, I would like to avoid a situation where the long stop orders are taken here, and then price reverts back within the range, perhaps towards the mid. So I will be very quick on taking action if I see that there is a hint of a potential reversal. But for now, the trade looks good. All right, I can see that price has made its way back towards the mid of the range, and it appears to be another rejection. So I'm going to add another quarter of a contract on the position. So it's now 3/4 of a contract, and I'm not changing the stop loss yet. I am fine with the current price action as long as we keep seeing the price being rejected from the mid of the range. That's one attempt, two attempt, third attempt, maybe there will be a fourth one, and maybe that price action will shoot past the mid of the range, in which case I will be stopped out for $268. Several dozens of minutes have passed since I posted the video. We've had 6 attempts at breaking this mid-range, 110,992, so call it 111,000. The 6th attempt was the right one to send the price lower. So now let's see how price reacts if it breaks this level here of this candle. So the low is at 110,546. Oh boy, this is a long trade. I think I entered my position early this morning. It was 9:15 or 10:15. It's currently 3:41 in the afternoon. I had time to build up 3/4 of a contract for this position with the stop above the most recent high, 111,154. Price has made a lot of back and forth toward the mid level. So there is a clear confirmation that the mid is actually preventing the price from going up. That's good because I'm short. On the other hand, the lower part is never letting price collapse. So now perhaps this is what's going to happen. We will see lower prices. I'll be interested to look at the tape as we reach this level here, and more specifically the lower bound of the range. Because if this lower bound of the range does not hold the prices, remember this is the range that I created for myself yesterday during the trading session for yesterday, and it has been capping the price quite well nicely in the morning. There was a nice deviation above the range overnight and yesterday evening. But now if price gets to the low of the range and takes out the stops that will be inevitably positioned down there, not too far away from it is a large portion of a liquidity void. And we know that price moves from liquidity pocket to liquidity pocket. So perhaps as we break this, we will tap in the liquidity here, increase the speed of the tape, make a lot of fat transactions, and revert as price gets closer to this level. That's the play. I would like to see how price react on this particular level. For now, the trade is in profit, $228. The risk associated is 268. I'm not moving the stop yet. I'd like to see price break this low, 110,279 before I consider to lower my stop. But so far it looks good. Lots of patience was required on this particular trade. All right, patience is paying off on this particular trade. So we had a first attempt at breaking this level and a little pullback towards the moving averages on the 5-minute. And now the price action is moving past the bottom of the range that I was highlighting earlier. What I'm not too keen on is that I don't see any specific, because if you look, this low was taken here. I was expecting to have a lot more long stop orders position taken out, and that's not the case. It doesn't prevent the price from going lower, but means that the longs that helped price move up there don't have their stop just underneath this level. Right now we have 11.83 on the aggressive sell side as we reach the liquidity void. It's good. It's good for the position. I'd like to see the price action go lower. I would take, I think, some partial profit or complete profit depending on the tape behaves around 109,600. That's the level I would take my profit. So now we have a new 5-minute candle that just opened. The current profit on the position is 536 for a risk of 268, so I'm going to lower my stop now. I will remain, I think 135 is good as the mid of the range. It's not excluded that we get one last push higher before we actually break towards this level, or we may go directly 42 as we tap the liquidity. That's good. 592 on the profit. We have 18.5 on the aggressive sell side. That's good as we make our way lower. Interesting. We're getting very close from 109,600. Okay, let me take out a third of the position. So the current profit is 721. So I'm going to buy back a third now. Let's see if that is taken. Yeah, it was taken. So 721. Our third is 240 in the books for this trade. Let's keep monitoring what the position is doing. We'll see a lot of volume is increasing. This is perfectly normal as we are into the liquidity void. Let's see how this candle closes. Depending on how it will close, if we close at the low, I will exit the position completely. If we close somewhere down there, I may keep the position open. 2 minute 50 seconds on the 10-minute candle and an hour and 52 on the 4-hour candle. So let's see, let's keep watching. All right, we have 45 seconds till the close of this 5-minute candle. And I said if we close toward the low of the candle within the liquidity voids, I will close out the position because the volume is getting very nice on this particular level. I am not willing to let this position get out of hand on the pullback. 20 seconds. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. So I'm getting ready to exit right now half of the position. So it's 512. 512 for a half is 256. And I may exit the rest of the position if we move lower. Let's wait a few more seconds. Otherwise, we'll pause the recording. Okay, we'll pause the recording. So it was 256 on the second take profit. All right, so 2/3 of the position were taken as profit. And now I am considering the idea of lowering the stop just above the high of these candle. It's been a long day and I'm mentally tired and I'm willing to let this stop be taken out. Actually, I will close the position now. 232, 223 precisely. Position closed. I'm gonna add this to the book. 223. So all in all, it was a good trade. The execution was good. The take profit was good as well. All in all, this was a good trade. It was a very long day. It was a long trade to monitor and manage, but I entered the trade gradually in chunk of a quarter, and I exited also partially a quarter of the position at a time, or a third, depending. So the total profits for this particular trade is 256 plus 240 plus 223, $719 for this particular trades. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will be speaking to you all soon, perhaps tomorrow. You take care. Bye-bye.